not available tonight. Henry Coleman is back for A&M. He did not play in their come-from-behind win over Iowa State due to an ankle injury, but he is starting tonight's game. And in that game against Iowa State, they were down 21. So it was the largest comeback win in school history, and they did it while their forces were depleted.
Yeah, they did that without Coleman and without Boots Radford, as you mentioned. So Buzz Williams said he found out a lot about his team in a positive manner.
Jump shot goes down for Jacob Groves, so good start for him, inserted into the starting five tonight.
Yeah, Groves started the first 2 games of the season. However, Blake Buchanan had a come-out performance against Florida and has been in the starting lineup since.
Wade Taylor comes up short on the 3, but there's the rebounding we've been talking about. Henry Coleman with the stick back.
And that is going to be the storyteller here this evening. Is can Virginia keep Texas A&M off the glass, or will the Aggies flex their muscle, average 18 offensive rebounds per game?
And looking at the 2 Power 5 opponents that that Virginia's played, Virginia's given up 41 offensive rebounds in those 2 games. Jace Carter trying to drive, the angle cut off by Andrew Rohde. And Hefner stepped on the sideline, so a turnover by Texas A&M.
You do a lot of NBA basketball. However, what you just saw is the most common turnover in the college basketball game ever since the 3-point line was moved back. You see guys constantly with that retreat step, stepping on that sideline, forcing dead ball turnovers.
Got to be really frustrating for Buzz Williams when you're that late in the shot clock as well. But at Virginia, obviously, that's the goal. Cavaliers will throw it around the perimeter with McNeely, who's shooting 55% from 3. Shot clock down to 6. Here's Beakman putting it on the floor, driving into contact, kicks it out for a 3 from McNeely, and it rattles home. 39% three-point shooter last year, and as we just mentioned, 55%. That'll go up after the 3. Unable to answer is Hefner. Long rebound, Beekman. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Spot up 3, McNeely. Back-to-back triples for McNeely.
Great start for Virginia, specifically Isaac McNeely, but Reece Beekman with a great decision there. He had Ryan Dunn on his right, going to the hot hand early.
In their last game, they hit only 4 threes the entire game, already 2 here in the first 2.5 minutes.
But one thing for certain, Virginia is a different program and a different team in this building. The defense ramps up, the shooting, of course, is much better, and that time they get a stop and, more importantly, finish it with a defensive rebound.
3-0 this year. They won 18 of their last 19 here at JPJ. Defensive rebound for Coleman. 8-2. Virginia leads. Haven't been many 3-minute stretches this year when A&M's had just 2 points. Coleman offensive rebound again, back up, missed it again, and then batted into the backcourt and saved by Taylor.
This is Texas A&M basketball. They will continue to attack the rebounding, the offensive glass. Tony Bennett talked to his team about not hanging their head when they got an offensive rebound, just continuing to defend.
Out of bounds off Virginia. 16 to shoot for Texas A&M. The one loss for the Aggies came against FAU, and in that game they scored 89 points and lost by 7. FAU, a Final Four team a year ago, as Levesque will go to the bench, and in comes Solomon Washington.
In that game, they lost Henry Coleman at the end of the first half, and Tyrese Radford wasn't available for the second half for the Aggies. Wade Taylor went off for 34 points, however.
Check that Anderson Garcia into the game. Excellent offensive rebounder. The best in the country. Nice pass by Garcia, and the layup inside for Jace Carter.
Andrew Rohde got caught up chasing Carter off of that screen. Nice cut by Carter to find that wide open layup.
Hefner guarding Beekman. Shot clock at 9. Here's McNeely, hit a couple threes, now drives into the lane. Boy, it looked like a foul that time by Garcia. Up top, a 3 from Rohde. Off the side of the rim. And out of of bounds to Texas A&M.
Here in Virginia, but happy to see Lakin doing well also. I think she got Dad's credit card number earlier today. Do a little shopping.
He did say that. I think she was looking to go to a apparel store, and he said, Lakin, you can do whatever you want. Just go ahead, fire away.
At this point, of course, he's extremely proud of her. Lakin, who was in medical school in Boston, but more importantly, fighting the good fight, and now in remission versus cancer.
Roger working tonight's game with John Gaffney and James Breeding. So an excellent crew. 8-4, Virginia with the early lead over Texas A&M. First ACC SEC challenge as Hefner drives, missed the layup, another offensive rebound, but Carter couldn't put it back in.
And with the smaller starting lineup with Groves at the 5 for Virginia, the one thing you don't have on the interior is shot blocking, which Blake Buchanan can provide. However, Groves provides a three-point shooting to space the floor.
Tough shot inside. It wouldn't fall for Ryan Dunn. They need his scoring. Dunn averaging 10 points per game on this season. Here's Wade Taylor. Quiet start for Taylor. Hefner dribbled it off of a defender's leg, and it somehow ended up underneath in the hands of Carter.
One of the things that you will see from Texas A&M, they go after every 50-50 ball as though their life depends upon it. Buzz Williams does a drill and they shoot around where he rolls the basketball on the floor, and guys are running all over the gym diving after basketball. They're used to it as part of their culture.
Year 5 for Buzz Williams, but no stranger to this building. Spent 5 years at Virginia Tech. Another 3, and it's 3 already. Cavaliers.
Yeah, Ryan Dunn stepping up off of a nice find from Rohde, attacking the baseline. Rohde does a great job keeping his eyes up. And Dunn, who hasn't shot it great from 3 this year, steps up and makes a big one for Virginia.
4 threes in each of the last 2 games, and they've got 3 already here in the first 6 minutes. And that's not really the strength of Taylor, at least not this year. 27%, but that was a long one that goes down. First 3 for Tech.
He got it going at the ESPN Events Invitational in Orlando, and he's a guy that will shoot it, as you just saw, from deep. You got to be prepared for him to shoot it from 30 feet away.
Beekman almost threw that out of bounds. Good save by McNeely. Nice pass underneath, and Dunn with the slam. Quick points for Ryan Dunn.
Nice cut by Ryan Dunn along the baseline, but even better find from Jacob Groves, being able to put the basketball on the floor.
Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Virginia.
And the dimension that Groves gives Virginia is the ability to be able to put the basketball on the floor and make a play, but more importantly, the nice passing to find Ryan Dunn creeping along the baseline. And of course, whenever Ryan Dunn gets an opportunity at the rim, he's going to make it look spectacular.
Dunn getting a breather. Manny Obaseki checking in for Virginia. And Solomon Washington on the floor now for A&M. He got his first start last game, had a career-high 18 points and a win. Drives here, nice finish off the window.
And Solo will not waste time. That's one of the things about him, whether he's in the starting lineup or he's coming off the bench. He will not waste any time. Has a conversation with Roger Ayers, and I love this. Solomon Washington got a technical foul against FAU in that semifinal game in Orlando. Roger Ayers, a great piece of officiating, goes over, has a conversation early about what is going to be tolerated, what is not, but he did not put down a technical foul, which I love that officiating, talking to his guys.
And then Washington's teammate, Eli Lawrence, came over and pointed to his head, meaning use your head. Don't make a mistake like that on the road. McNeely getting into the lane. 8 points now for McNeely. He averages just under 10 per game.
Yeah, great start for McNeely. Hasn't had a double-figure game since opening night for Virginia, so great to see his offense showing up for Tony Bennett.
Lawrence penetrates, has it poked away. And Dunn's got it. 4-point lead for UVA against the 14th ranked team in the country, Texas A&M.
You look at this Virginia lineup playing without a true point guard. Dante Harris is out. Reece Beekman on the bench.
Wow. That was from a good 6 feet behind the line. McNeely comes up short.
I'm okay with it. You made a couple of them. You got freedom to shoot that.
Little heat check. Lawrence's 3 not there. And And good defensive rebounding by Dunn, who averages about 7 boards per game. Virginia opens up conference play this weekend against Syracuse. Got an official timeout here.
When you come to JPJ, always look forward to seeing Ryan Dunn take off and have some type of highlight here at home.
One of those wins came against Virginia here. Cavaliers are ranked number 2 in the country that time.
And because, of course, Virginia and Virginia Tech are permanent partners, Tony Bennett and Buzz Williams had to see each other at least twice a year. And Virginia's perfect season at home was interrupted by Buzz Williams and Justin Robinson and that crew in 2018, where they came in and upset number 2 Virginia, Virginia's only ACC loss of that season.
That was the year they got knocked off in the first round by UMBC, but then came back the next year and won the national championship.
I wasn't going to mention that. That's not something that is talked about much here.
That's why I mentioned the championship after. They go together. It's a great story of
perseverance.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm with you on that one.
Rohde, meanwhile, with Virginia's 4-3, matching their total from each of the last 2 games, trying to answer is Washington. Virginia's done a pretty good job in the glass. Only 3 offensive rebounds for A&M.
And the young man coming up with that rebound, number 12, Elijah Gertrude, who had planned on redshirting this season, but with the injury to Dante Harris, is now active and playing his first minutes in the Virginia uniform.
Corey, we touched on Beakman at the top of the telecast about that knee. Wasn't sure that he was going to play tonight. How does he look to you so far?
Well, he's not attacking the same way you're used to seeing Reece Beekman get downhill and get into the painted area. But whenever you're dealing with something like that, if it's not structural, as the game goes on, you loosen up. I look forward to seeing him be more aggressive.
Senior from Milwaukee. He's on the Wooden Award watch list. Tested the NBA waters, but came back. Out of bounds, last touch by A&M.
But one thing's for certain, Reece Beekman continues to do the job defensively right in front of his head coach, Tony Bennett, forcing another turnover.
15th year for Bennett here in Charlottesville. The all-time leader in wins at Virginia, past Terry Holland back in January. Largest lead of the game here for UVA. Little push shot won't fall for Rohde, but a foul on Texas A&M. That's the first foul in the game on either team.
Blake Buchanan doing a great job attacking the offensive glass, putting pressure on Texas A&M, giving them just a taste of their own medicine.
Henry Coleman checking back in along with Jace Carter. Again, no Tyrese Radford. The second straight game for Texas A&M, averaging 13 points per game.
That's a huge loss for Texas A&M. He's a strong component to what Buzz Williams and his team does. They got a lot of guys coming off the bench that can give him production, but he's the veteran of this group. Checking in is Elijah Gertrude.
They were going to redshirt him as Beakman misses, but Gertrude had his redshirt pulled, and the freshman from Jersey City's on the floor. Taylor weaving through traffic, draws a foul, the first on Virginia. It's on Buchanan.
Both teams dealing with injuries. You see Tyrese Radford, a.k.a. Boots, who's out tonight. Dante Harris for Virginia, who's out tonight on crutches on the sideline. And then Reece Beekman, of course, the leader of this Virginia team, was a game-time decision. You see him playing with the brace on the right knee. You and I happened to be in the office talking to Tony Bennett when the great trainer Ethan Saliba came in and gave Tony the thumbs up, which was a sigh of relief for Tony to know that he's going to have Reece on the floor to start the game tonight.
And he's been out there pretty much the entire first half, save 1 minute. Called for a kick here. You think about it, A&M, one of the top offenses in the country, and right now on pace for about 40 points.
But Buzz Williams knows what's going to happen. He understands what's going to happen in this game. His biggest concern is to make sure that they don't give Virginia easy opportunities off of turnovers. Texas A&M comes in as one of the best teams in the country handling the basketball, 9.1 turnovers per game. But that's been a proponent for Virginia's defense that they've turned into offense all this season. They've had a lot of success when they've been able to turn the opponents over.
And almost a steal by Beakman. Boy, Wade Taylor's getting a workout. We've seen him going to the backcourt 2 or 3 times already to track down a loose basketball. And good D by Beakman. Shot clock at 6. Catch and shoot. Coleman from mid-range, able to knock it down.
And Henry Coleman is comfortable in this arena as well. Of course, started his first year at Duke, but this is a place where Henry Coleman used to come to elite camps. He was a high Virginia recruit. His mom, Cynthia, who was, of course, taken in the game, is a UVA grad, class of '92. So Henry very familiar with these confines.
Virginia turns it over. Taylor thought about the logo 3, but again, Beekman is right there. First turnover by Virginia. They get it right back. A steal by Buchanan. Then he throws it right to Coleman. You had Beekman sitting at the perimeter.
Great hands by Blake Buchanan, but that's one of the reasons why, as a guard, you always tell the big guys, pick it up. I'll come get it. Don't try to push the break on your own.
Hefner rattles around and out, and a defensive rebound by Dunn. Virginia ball with a 5-point lead, 8.5 to go in the first half. Work that perimeter. McNeely's got a couple threes already. Coleman extending on him. Beekman hangs and finishes with the left hand, his first points of the night.
And that's Reece Beekman's game, attacking the paint. Whether it's making a play for himself or his teammates, does a great job getting downhill and making sure he finishes it off.
The lead back to 7 for Virginia. Beekman, the leading scorer on the year, averaging 12 per game. Nice drive and finish by Henry Coleman. Looks to be good after suffering that ankle injury a couple games ago.
Yeah, Henry Coleman has picked up where he left off in Orlando when he was the best player on the floor oftentimes for Texas A&M. However, the best player on the floor for Virginia to be successful is going to have to be Reece Beekman. All ACC potential this season. 92, mother of Henry Coleman III, and she is super proud of her baby, and he has played very well, off to a great start here. Big baby, by the way.
and Henry's dad, Hank, played football at Virginia Tech.
And Virginia Tech were both heavy suitors for Henry Coleman III's services coming out of Trinity Episcopal School in Richmond, Virginia. However, he chose Duke as a freshman and has made the move now to go to the then Virginia Tech coach, Buzz Williams, who has created a program at Texas A&M.
25 wins last year, 15-3 in conference play, good for second. They ended up losing, though, in the NCAA tournament. Their last NCAA tournament win was back in 2018. Shot clock down to 2. Rohde had to hoist it, missed the 3, and it's A&M ball. One offensive rebound for Virginia.
But if history continues to repeat itself, this is the year for Texas A&M. It was year 5 that Buzz Williams took Duke to the took Virginia Tech to the Sweet 16 with a tip-in chance to beat Duke to get to the Elite 8. It was year 5 at Marquette where he had success. So year 5 at Texas A&M, if history repeats itself, this is the one for the Aggies.
Stolen by Beekman, 5th turnover by Texas A&M. They leave Groves open. He didn't pull the trigger, though. 6:45 to go. First half, Virginia leading by 5. Beekman, 2 points so far, penetrating, and good hands, knocking it away is Washington.
A number of very good individual defenders in Washington and Garcia, a number of guys that can slide their feet, making it difficult for Reece Beekman to get a good look in the paint.
Taylor got knocked down, missed the 3, but he'll go to the line as Beekman commits the foul. His first. It'll be 3 free throws for Taylor.
And you have to be aware as to where Wade Taylor IV is at all times on the floor. He's shown us that he's got deep range already in this game. Reece Beekman over aggressive closing out on that one, getting the foul, sending Taylor to the free throw line for 3.
First free throws of the game for either team, and Wade Taylor is an excellent foul shooter. Set the school record and led the SEC in free throw shooting last year at 88%. He's at 83% this year. Tomorrow, full evening of ACC SEC Challenge matchups for women's college basketball. First at 5 Eastern, Missouri taking on Virginia. Then Alabama takes on Syracuse, and to wrap up the night, Texas A&M against Wake Forest. Catch all the action on ACC Network or the ESPN app.
Of course, two of the best conferences in women's basketball as well, the ACC and the SEC doing battle. A number of great games on tap. Angel Reese will be in the lineup for LSU as they take on my big cousin Kenny Brooks and the Virginia Tech women's basketball program in a top 10 matchup tomorrow night. I'll be tuned in for that.
On ESPN at 9 Eastern time tomorrow. Turnover by Virginia. So A&M with a chance to tie or take the lead after the 3 free throws by Taylor. McNeely on him. Here's Hefner, knocks down the 3, and Texas A&M has the lead.
Off of turnovers, points off turnovers benefit both these teams, but you can't find a different contrast in personalities. Buzz Williams just sprinted from the baseline all the way to half court when his team got a turnover, as Tony Bennett stays seated in his chair, calm, cool, and collected.
8-0 run by Texas A&M over the last 2.5 minutes. Beakman trying to answer, can't from 3-point range. And one and done. Easy defensive board for Coleman. Hefner driving this time. Couldn't finish with the left, but an offensive rebound. Coleman working hard on the glass on both ends. Now Taylor drives. 3 on the way. Washington too strong. Ends up in the hands of Coleman underneath for 2.
Therein lies the Achilles heel for Virginia. Rebounding the basketball, finishing defensive possessions is a challenge for Virginia, but even more of a challenge versus this Texas A&M team, which is one of the best crashing the offensive glass.
Leading Division I. And they've got a 10-0 run right now, in part because of those second chance opportunities. Rohde gets through the lane. Wild shot, but it drops through.
Nice move by Rohde, recognizing he would have an advantage against Henry Coleman on the perimeter, able to get past, stumbled a bit, but still concentrating to be able to get the hoop.
Rohde, a transfer from St. Thomas, where he was the Summit League Freshman of the Year a season ago. Going to the left hand is Hefner, but it wouldn't fall. Out of bounds, though, going to stay with Texas A&M. Again, Virginia having a hard time securing the defensive board. Now Beekman's going to go to the bench with 4:16 to go.
Dave, Tony Bennett talked to us about that earlier. He knows that Texas A&M is going to get some offensive rebounds. He does not want his team to hang their head when they do get an offensive rebound, but to continue to stay solid defensively. As my boy Jason Williford, the associate head coach of Virginia, gets out to clean up the wet spot. I'm not sure that's part of his job titles, but showing that he's willing to do it all.
Obaseki bringing it back near midcourt. Being watched by Leon Bond, who's checked into the game. Shot clock down to 5. Hefner sees it. Launches over McNeely. And a foul called on Texas A&M. That's going to go against Garcia, his first and the second on Texas A&M. Coleman, how about the fact he's got 7 rebounds and Virginia as a team has 8.
And 4 of those rebounds, offensive rebounds for Henry Coleman, getting involved. So the majority of his points are second chance points, and that has been the difference in this game thus far. 6-0 advantage, Texas A&M.
Inside 4 minutes to play here in the first half in Charlottesville. Virginia has won 18 of its last 19 games played in this arena. Groves left wide open, little rhythm dribble, but bricked the 3. And good fight by Bond, but Lawrence controls the loose ball.
And Jake Groves, who started the season 7 of 9 from beyond the 3-point arc, now 1 of his last 10.
Virginia 2 for its last 8, while Texas A&M is 7 for its last 13. A&M's offense finally getting going. Shot clock at 6, and an offensive foul is called here on the drive. Lawrence is first.
Eli Lawrence attacking. Watch the right arm as he reaches down.
I think he had a hold of Bond's elbow.
Yeah, that was it. The official made sure to mentioned the right arm on the push-off on that side when he made the call.
And that was John Gaffney, the official that made the call. Just one basket in the last 5 minutes for Virginia, and coming over to get the swat is Levesque.
And Levesque, the tallest player in the starting lineup, really the tallest player that Texas A&M plays, coming up and giving them some type of resistance at the rim. Great job by McNeely getting out, recognizing Wade Taylor can shoot it from that far away.
Taylor spinning, kicking. Obaseki's three not there. Offensive rebound. Levesque lost it, but Virginia foul. Third team foul. It's going to be on Rohde in the act of shooting. So 2 free throws for Levesque.
Dave, we were in shoot around earlier today. One of the things that Buzz Williams talked to his team about was they have different plays as far as when they get an offensive rebound. It's such a big thing as part of their offense. Once they get one, if they catch it in the paint, they know to go back up. If it's outside the paint, all the shooter space. But it was interesting to see how he talked about what they do on the offensive board.
And coming up at 9:15 Eastern on ESPN, it's number 7 Duke taking on Arkansas as the ACC-SEC Challenge continues. Catch all the action on the app as well. Got a timeout on the floor here by Virginia, with the Cavaliers trailing Texas A&M by 2 with 2.5 remaining in the first. 13 Virginia about 7 minutes ago, and A&M with one more free throw coming for Levesque and a 2-point lead.
Yeah, the only field goal for Virginia in that last 5.5 minutes was the Andrew Rohde drive to the basket, where he was able to get past Henry Coleman III and finish. But Tony Bennett understands that his team is going to go through offensive droughts at time, but as long as their defense stays consistent, they can survive those.
Levesque missed the second free throw, and ball batted by Garcia out of bounds. But man, they're going for every time the ball caroms off the rim, you're seeing an A&M player at least get a deflection, it feels like.
And you're seeing the leading offensive rebounder in the country in Anderson Garcia, number 11 for Texas A&M. He is relentless going after offensive boards.
And that's going to be a backcourt violation. Great defense that time in that trap by A&M, forcing a turnover, the 5th by Virginia.
But how about the Buzz Williams celebration on the sideline? As you look at this, as Rohde makes the pass, get a look at Buzz Williams and the way that he celebrates this backcourt violation, the 10 seconds. Buzz got it in. Buzz stayed in great shape. He's leaned out a lot over the last few years, changed his diet, and got a lot of energy on that sideline.
That's winning an NCAA tournament game at the buzzer type celebration for a defensive stop where they force a turnover.
But that's how important this game is to Buzz Williams. He understands the task at hand and where he's bringing his team into. He's familiar playing in this building.
Beakman able to get to the rim, stuff it home to tie the game at 24.
Nice cut by Reece Beekman, and a beautiful find as Minor is able to get on the floor. Hasn't gotten many minutes early in this season.
Playing through a knee injury. Blocked by Dunn against Coleman. And now Beakman looking to push. McNeely spots up for 3. And again, one and done for Virginia, with Carter getting the rebound.
Ryan Dunn, we showed the Virginia stats of what they're a top 10 team in blocks, averaging over 6 blocks a game. Ryan Dunn is the leader of that group.
Coleman, nice finger roll in the lane.
Great hands, nice catch from Henry Coleman to be able to finish it off. He and Wade Taylor are excellent in pick and roll basketball together.
Coleman shooting about 75% from the field on the season. Spin by Beakman, floater no off the window. And it's A&M ball. And then a collision near midcourt. Taylor hits the deck. Just the 4th team foul on Virginia. It's on Jordan Minor, his first. Got a ways to go before the bonus.
Reece Beekman able to get in the painted area. You normally see Reece going off of 1 foot. This time going to 2 feet. Nice find from Rohde to be able to see Reece and just slip that ball through a slight opening there. Allow Virginia to get the easy bucket.
Inside a minute to play. A&M possession with a 2-point lead. They're going to put Obaseki on the ball, put Taylor off the ball. Obaseki into the chest of McNeely, put up an air ball, and then a battle for the loose ball underneath. Out of bounds to Virginia as Garcia hits the deck.
And Dunn had to continue to box out Garcia all the way until the ball actually hit the floor and became a dead ball. That's how relentless Garcia is. But Ryan Dunn, recognizing that, made sure to keep a body on Garcia, not allowing him to come up with another offensive rebound. As you see this battle, Ryan Dunn, you can't just stop boxing out Texas A&M. You have to keep a body on them. Great job by Dunn on that possession.
McNeely into the lane, lost his footing, and the ball poked out of bounds. Oh, wow. Carter goes into the front row. Hopefully everybody's okay over there. John Grisham just missed. There's John in the blue sport coat to our left. There's a young lady over there and a young gentleman that Carter crashed into, but class moved there by Jace.
Oh,
make sure that they're okay.
That gentleman will be one Mr. James, a.k.a. Jim Walker. UVA supporter for a very, very long time. So Mr. Walker putting his body on the line right there.
He's like, yeah, I took it in the chest. I'm good. I'm good. They're just looking at the clock here is what we're being told.
Yeah, John Gaffney letting us know they're only checking out the shot clock to see if that basketball hit the rim on the Virginia possession.
So stay as it is. 19 to shoot, 34 on the game clock. It's Virginia ball, down 2, 26-24. Virginia picked 4th in the ACC preseason poll behind Duke, Miami, and North Carolina. Miami got hammered last night by Kentucky.
Yeah, once it started, you know, when it rains, it pours. Miami had a 5-point game at halftime, and then once Kentucky got going, there was no stopping them. That game, of course, at Rupp Arena. I think that contest would be a little different if they played on a neutral floor.
Beekman with 3 to shoot, gives it up to Dunn, and Dunn drills a 3. Virginia has the lead. 10 seconds to go, and Buzz Williams will take his use it or lose it timeout here.
2 hours before the game, Ryan Dunn.
Night in Lexington. Here are some other scores. Clemson with the upset over Alabama, and game going on right now. North Carolina by 19 over Tennessee.
Now that is surprising. Rick Barnes returning to the Dean Dome, where he once had a little bit of an altercation with Dean Smith. But you can see the Carolina faithful was ready for Rick Barnes coming back, and Hubert Davis had his team ready as well.
A foul here on McNeely, and why not? You got fouls to give. Still one more to give. First personal on McNeely.
And a smart foul because Virginia's basically trying to scout out what Buzz Williams wants to run coming out of that timeout. By using that foul to give, they know exactly what the action was.
Here's Hefner. 5 seconds to go. Hefner penetrates and throws it away. 1.6 seconds remaining in the half.
A strong defensive stand by Virginia to end the half, which should allow them to go into the halftime locker room with the lead.
So Virginia makes 3 baskets. That's it in the final 8.5 minutes, but they had the lead.
Well, the defense carries them, and they got timely baskets on a huge 3-pointer from Ryan Dunn to give them the 1-point lead headed into rebounds, because we know that they will continue to defend, and Virginia's done a great job limiting those second chance opportunities.
And Reece Beekman, who was questionable coming into today, was a game time decision, played 16.5 minutes in that first half despite a knee issue. He had 4 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Grows for 3, and it starts off the second half with a triple.
Great ball movement, nice attack by McNeely, getting into the painted area and then kicking it out. Rohde had a choice of shooters. Dunn on the left, Groves on the right, goes to Groves, and that was the right decision.
So they're 6 of 12. A&M is 2 for 11 from 3. Wade Taylor, 1 of 3. Just 6 points in that first half. Carter's 3 no good. Batted out, but a foul on Levesque. But Wade Taylor's a 20-point per game scorer. Had a 35-point game last week, but kept in check so far in this game.
Nice find by McNeely, and you see it's really 3-on-1 as Hefner tries to close out to Groves, but a long distance to try to come from to stop a shooter has the ability as Groves does from beyond the arc.
Here's Ryan Dunn driving, lost it. And it's Texas A&M ball.
That action is run to be able to give Ryan Dunn a driving lane. However, you see something going on the backside to be able to open up a clear path for him to drive it to the rim, just unable to handle the basketball.
Good job by Groves over the top, getting a deflection, but it stays with the Aggies. Taylor tries to bounce it inside, and it's stolen away. The 4th steal for Beakman.
But you can see on that day, Reece Beekman does not have the normal burst that you're used to seeing him. That's a play one-on-one. He's going to attack Wade Taylor on that one. A little ginger on that knee still, but doing a great job defensively.
Here's Taylor, got a little airspace, but not even close on the three-point try. He has not taken a shot from inside the arc. All of his attempts have been from three-point range, and he's 1 for 4 with that air ball.
And you've got to give Virginia's defense a lot of credit for that, staying in those gaps, because he's a guy that can attack the rim with the best of them.
Here's Beekman doing just that, getting it to fall. And the lead is back to 6. They had a 7-point lead at one point in the first half.
But Reece Beekman not waiting to the end of the shot clock, recognizing his team is needing him to be aggressive, getting downhill, does just that on that possession.
Long 2, no good from Hayden Hefner. And McNeely has it for Virginia. Here's Beekman, blows by one defender, banks it in. Back-to-back buckets for Reece Beekman, and it's an 8-point lead for Virginia. Timeout, Buzz Williams.
Reece Beekman getting into attack mode to start the second half. Attacks, finishes over Henry Coleman, and then the second time going baseline, takes the contact, still the concentration to finish it to the delight of the Virginia faithful. Taking the contact, able to finish through contact. A little reaction for Reece as he flashes a smile. We talked about him as a game time decision today, but playing very well on the sore knee.
And a turnover out of the break by A&M. Dunn missed the layup. Still, Virginia's on a 10-0 run going back to late in the first half. They have an 8-point lead, their largest of the game.
And Ryan Dunn trying to avoid Hefner on that position.
Coleman inside. Dunn got the block, his second, but they're going to count it. Goaltending violation. Count the basket for Henry Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman got that one on the glass first. Roger Ayers right in position to be able to see that. But it's also something that the officials can go check out afterwards. But you look, the ball hits the glass before Ryan Dunn gets a hand on it. I believe that will absolutely count. And the officials can go look at that during a timeout. They don't have to stop game action. They can do that during a timeout to go over and check it out.
And that's what they were telling Tony Bennett, because Tony wanted them to look at it right now, and they were telling him that it's something they could take care of during the break, which is new. 34-28 Virginia. Boy, missed opportunity by Dunn to get that layup. You know you have to treasure every possession in these games, and when you get a wide open layup like Dunn did, you can't miss that opportunity.
And he was thinking he was going to take off. He was going to highlight dunk that way. Have to give Hefner a lot of credit for sprinting back and really just changing it so that Dunn didn't get the easy dunk.
Shot clock down to 5. McNeely hit a couple threes in the first half. He's been quiet since. Timer at 2. Rohde able to bank it in. Everything going right for Virginia tonight. Rohde's had a couple of wild shots that have gone in. He had a lefty finger roll as he was falling down that he made, and now a bank-in 3 with the shot clock at 1. That's the 7-3 for Virginia, and another A&M turnover, the 10th for the Aggies.
And that's one of the things Virginia's done a great job of in this building this season, is forcing turnovers. It's a part of what Tony Bennett is coaching his team more so this year, because he has the athletes like Ryan Dunn, like Reece Beekman. Both these guys have great anticipation, so they use the turnover as more of a weapon this season than they have in the past.
4 minutes gone by in the second half. The lead is a game-high 9 for Virginia. Neither team is led by double figures as a foul is called here on A&M. Second team foul. It's on Wade Taylor. That's his first personal. No fouls yet on Virginia. In the first half, Virginia didn't take any free throws. A&M only attempted 5.
Neither of these teams foul a lot as McNeely knocks down the jumper to give Virginia the 11-point lead. And Texas A&M only 2 points here in the first 4+ minutes of the second half.
McNeely with 10 points, right at his season average. And again, Taylor with no room to drive against that great defender in Beakman. The ACC Defensive Player of the Year last year. So Taylor has to put up a long 3. Bodies hit the floor, and they're going to call a foul on Jacob Groves.
Greatest point guard to ever grace the grounds of the University of Virginia by the name of Dawn Staley.
You were playing pretty well yourself during that period of time.
Well, she taught me some things. My first year was her 4th year. She taught me some things around here.
So, by the way, they called a double foul as the ball ends up in the hands of Beakman, and the goaltending call was confirmed. So it's 39-28 Virginia, Cavaliers ball.
And Dave, that goaltending, that's the only bucket for Texas A&M in the second half. So Virginia has clamped down defensively.
Rohde with a push shot off the window.
And this is the offensive production that Tony Bennett and his staff have been looking for from Rohde. And of course, he got the bank 3 to go down, which was a little unscripted, but they've been wanting him to be more aggressive on the offensive end. Averaged 17 points a game a season ago.
And a 13-point deficit against Virginia probably feels like a 23-point deficit. They got to start hitting threes or they're going to come back. That was blocked, but it ends up right in the hands of Garcia.
Reece Beekman is an elite level shot blocking guard to go along with Ryan Dunn. These two guys compete in what they call here stocks. Combination of steals and blocks. And these two guys have a friendly competition going all season long.
Beekman drives. Up top, here's Groves for 3. Not that time. And rebounded by Solomon Washington. Again, A&M is without Tyrese Radford, one of their top scorers. As Coleman gets 2 inside, he's got 14 points, 4 quick A&M points to get back within 9.
Texas A&M got down big to FAU in the semifinal matchup in Orlando, came back and made that a game. Then they got down 21 against Iowa State in their final game for the 3rd place game in Orlando, came back and won that game. This team will not go away, and Tony Bennett is making sure to let his team know that.
And to your point, Corey, that was the largest comeback in school history. It was 35-14 at one point in that game. McNeely's 3 in and out. And last touch by A&M. Groves working hard with 3 Aggies right around him, and A&M touched it last.
It's going to be important for Virginia to keep their foot on the gas pedal offensively.
And checking back in is Elijah Gertrude, who again was scheduled to redshirt, but because of the injury to Dante Harris and they weren't sure about Beakman, Gertrude is now playing.
It's going to be important for Virginia to stay aggressive offensively because Texas A&M can score points in a hurry.
Rohde's 3, no good. Out of bounds again off of Texas A&M. That's twice that Virginia is able to at least keep it alive. And it was Groves again, Leon Bond there as well.
Leon Bond normally provides a tremendous amount of energy for Virginia coming off the bench. Has played very well in home games and continues to be a factor on the glass.
And they're going to call Wade Taylor for a foul, just a second, 4th team foul here in the half. And Taylor's got to be frustrated. Just 1 basket on the night. And again, there's been no driving lanes at all thanks to Reece Beekman. Taylor going to get a little breather here as Bryce Lindsey, a freshman from Baltimore, averages less than a point per game, checks in at a critical juncture here.
Buzz Williams is not afraid to go deep into the bench. Tremendous amount of depth on this Texas A&M team, and he's looking for someone to give him a spark, especially on the offensive end.
Shot clock down to 3. Rohde penetrates, lost it. Garcia with good defense, and that's going to be A double dribble called on Lindsey. So as soon as he checks into the game for Wade Taylor, he turns it over. Jace Carter going to come back in for Texas A&M. The season average for turnovers for Texas A&M is 9, and the Aggies have committed 11 so far, 4 in the second half. 9-point lead for Virginia, 41-32, 12.5 to play.
And many of those turnovers unforced, like the double dribble coming across right there. Give Virginia's defense a lot of credit for forcing some of those.
McNeely tried to drive and fire inside, but his pass was errant. The 8th turnover by Virginia. A double Lindsey out high. Shot clock down to 7. Carter putting it on the deck. Has it swatted away by Gertrude. Out of bounds. 4.4 to shoot for Texas A&M.
Elijah Gertrude burning the red shirt and getting involved in the mix in his first game, coming up with a block shot, forcing Texas A&M into a tough scenario with 4.4 remaining on the shot clock.
They're going to bring in a shooter, Hayden Hefner, with 4.4 on the shot clock. Washington goes to the bench. Wade Taylor staying on the bench for Texas A&M. Good job by Rohde immediately on Hefner. Has to hoist a very difficult 3 with the shot clock running out. And again, no offensive rebound opportunities. Yeah,
Virginia doing a great job gang rebounding. You see all 5 white jerseys in the painted area every time a shot goes up. Paying attention to detail, trying to keep the Aggies off the glass.
A&M still +6, but -1 on the glass to Virginia here in the second half. Rohde tried to hit the cutter. The pass was too hot to handle.
Virginia's had his fair share of turnovers on the last couple possessions as well. Remember, no Reece Beekman in the game right now. He stalled offensively a little bit, continue to turn the basketball over.
And a tough entry pass as Coleman was trying to get position. 12th turnover by A&M.
ESPN2 after this going. Let's get back to Pash and CA.
41-32, Virginia leading Texas A&M. It's a 4-0 run for A&M, but it's been over about a 3-minute span. And a foul called here. 2nd on Eli Lawrence, 5th on Texas A&M.
Tony Bennett going back to the majority of his starting lineup, getting Reece Beekman and McNeely back on the floor, as well as Ryan Dunn, after seeing 3 turnovers on the last few possessions for Virginia, making sure that they try their best to take care of this lead.
How about Virginia still has not taken a free throw in this game? We're at the midway point of the second half. 3 to shoot. Gertrude. Air ball, so the shot clock doesn't reset. And so a shot clock violation here by Virginia. So Henry Coleman for Texas A&M has 14 points. So the rest of the team has 18. Let's see if the Aggies can get on track from deep.
Yeah, that's been the story for this game. Virginia 7 of 17 from beyond the 3-point arc. Texas A&M 2 of 17. Virginia's done a great job guarding the 3-point line, which of course is a weapon for Wade Taylor the 4.
And Beakman playing hurt with that knee issue. Has done a great job defensively. Going to call a foul here on the dunk attempt by Levesque. Gertrude, he can rise. He had a block earlier.
He is an elite level athlete. Nice find from Henry Coleman, but Elijah Gertrude not allowing it. And this young man is super exciting. Virginia fans are going to love him. And I can tell you, I don't believe he's back to 100% quite yet. Tore his ACL at the beginning of his senior year in high school last year.
A college football conference championship weekend is underway on Friday night with the Pac-12 championship game on ABC, Oregon and Washington, and then Saturday Big 12 title game between Texas and Oklahoma State, Louisville, Florida State for the ACC championship at 8 Eastern time. It all culminates Sunday at noon Eastern with the exclusive reveal of the final college football playoff rankings on ESPN. We'll know who the top 4 teams are for the college football playoff before it expands to 12 teams next year. A new head coach on the football side for Texas A&M, Mike Elko, who had been a defensive coordinator at one point at A&M, was a head coach at Duke. Virginia's lead is down to 7, 6 straight points by A&M, again over the last 4.5 minutes or so.
And A&M didn't waste any time getting Elko in the mix.
3 is off the mark by Rohde. That's the 3rd time in this half we've seen a missed shot by Virginia go out of bounds off of a Texas A&M player.
But when you look at this Texas A&M team, they're not a very tall team. So they offensive rebound so well because they're relentless in the way they attack. But you can get offensive rebounds against them as well because it's not as though they have a huge front line.
Meanwhile, Virginia's missed 5 shots in a row. Beakman trying to create some space. Driving. Has it blocked by Levesque.
Second block shot by Levesque on the evening, providing some rim protection. He's the tallest guy on the floor alongside Blake Buchanan.
Driving and a wild shot, but there's Coleman with the rebound. Missed the stick back. Levesque got it back. And another foul called on the block attempt. Great work on the glass by Wildens Levesque. Played at both South Carolina and UMass before transferring to A&M.
But offensive rebounding. Henry Coleman comes up with one, Levesque coming up with another one, and gets fouled, and now an opportunity to get to the free throw line to make this a 5-point game if he's able to knock down both.
That was on Buchanan, his second personal foul.
And we talked about how Virginia started off the second half so well offensively, but the offense has stalled for them since, and Texas A&M has just chipped away at the lead, now down to 5. And you see Buzz Williams is going to pick up the pressure full court to see if they can try to speed Virginia up, who's turned the basketball over a bit here in the second half.
Been around 6 minutes since Virginia last scored. 9.5 remaining in the second half. Rohde was really aggressive early in the second half, not as much of late. Dunn puts it on the deck, soars to the rim, and smashes it. That ends the drought emphatically. Good ball movement into the hands of Taylor. He's still got just 1 field goal on the night, and he averages 20 points per game. Beekman again driving, and they're going to call a foul here. The 6th team foul on Texas A&M, 3rd personal on Eli Lawrence.
We watched this action from Tony Bennett earlier in the first half, trying to get Ryan Dunn a rim run with the basketball in his hand on the opposite side. Dunn turned it over, but you see Virginia running opposite side action to occupy the defense, so there's no help to be able to take Ryan Dunn away as he attacks the rim. And by the way, he put his head up around the rim on that last possession.
He got a lot of great athletes on this Virginia team, but no question Tony Bennett, one of the best coaches in the country. They're going to call a foul here on A&M. I don't think it was on the shot, though, so it'd be a 1-and-1 rather than a 2-shot situation. That's 4 on Eli Lawrence. Again, 7th team foul, and it will be a 2-shot situation here for Dunn. We've got a great women's basketball lineup for you on ESPN tomorrow. Corey already talked about South Carolina, ranked #1 in the country, taking on North Carolina from Chapel Hill at 7 Eastern time. Angel Reese is back for LSU. Didn't play the last 4 games, but she will play as LSU takes on #9 Virginia Tech, 9 Eastern time.
My 2 favorite college basketball coaches, Dawn Staley and, of course, my big brother cousin Kenny Brooks. In action tomorrow night. I'll be tuned in, locked in on both those games.
Meanwhile, here Virginia scored the last 4 points to go up 9. 8.5 to go. Lawrence almost turned it over, but they're going to call a foul here on Rohde. Buzz Williams and official James Breeding accidentally collided. Everybody's okay. 14 foul on Virginia.
Tony Bennett will applaud this effort by Rohde. Getting up and then going after a loose basketball. The foul, you don't care much about that because, of course, Virginia is nowhere close to the bonus. but he likes the effort defensively trying to guard his yard.
Reece Beekman, despite playing banged up, has done a tremendous defensive job on Taylor. It's a first two-point attempt for Taylor, and it wasn't even close, but an offensive rebound. It didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock doesn't reset. The timer's at 4. Lawrence letting it fly. Good on the 3. Finally, A&M gets one to fall. And the Aggies back within 6 at the 8-minute mark. Groves will try to answer and does. Second 3-ball this half for Jacob Groves. 8-3 for Virginia, just 3 for Texas A&M, including the last time down the floor.
Groves inserted back into the starting lineup. He's a better shooter as a starter. I know that very well. I was the same way. But 7 for 9 as a starter from 3. And struggled until he got back in the starting lineup here tonight and knocks down a huge one to give Virginia a 9-point lead.
Scott Cancer Research Fund honors Stewart's legacy by awarding grants to scientists who are addressing racial disparities in cancer outcomes and providing opportunities to researchers from diverse backgrounds. ESPN and the V Foundation are proud to support this fund in Stewart's honor. You can support as well by visiting v.org/Stewart. Dave Pasch and Corey Alexander in Charlottesville, as Henry Coleman now 16 points and 10 rebounds, single-handedly keeping Texas A&M in this game, considering the Aggies have only made 1 3 this half.
And Buzz Williams oftentimes goes to Henry Coleman coming out of timeouts with a similar set. Henry takes advantage of it on that possession.
Groves inserted into the starting lineup tonight because of some injuries by Tony Bennett. That move has paid off. He's got 10 points. They go back to Coleman. He's doubled and he throws it into the 3rd row. 13th turnover by Texas A&M.
The post trap is another staple of this Virginia defense. That time, Henry Coleman, who's handled the post trap relatively well, made a number of nice finds. That time, you bring size to be able to get the basketball out of Coleman's hands. Threw that one a little too high to the opposite wing.
And again, just the job defensively Virginia's done on Wade Taylor. Just 2 games ago, he had 35 points. The team right now is 41, and they're used to averaging about 80 a game. Rohde on the drive, missed it, tried the bank shot.
Buzz Williams told us earlier today he knows what it's going to be like playing in this game. It's like a root canal.
Another block by Dunn. There's some contact there as well. Taylor got hit in the face, but may have just been accidental as they were trying to get to the loose ball.
That was a great play by Ryan Dunn, though. That looked like an easy 2 for Henry Coleman. And Dunn out of nowhere just denies that opportunity well above the rim.
Dunn has had a really good overall game. Beakman on the baseline, shot clock at 8. Hangs in the air. Timer at 4. Murray, nice pass inside, and the basket for Groves as the buzzer sounds. And Buzz will call a timeout. The deficit once again at 11.
Virginia does not panic at the end of a shot clock. They stay calm, they stay composed. And even as the shot clock wears down to the end, they're able to get a bucket. A great pass from Tay Murray that allows Jacob Groves to get an easy bucket. But the recognition by Groves to keep the basketball high and just get it up on the glass is an elite level basketball IQ.
Chance at an upset here with Virginia leading.
Hauser and his ability to shoot, because of course when you got shooters around you, it takes attention away as Reece Beekman almost comes up with another steal.
He's got 3 in the game. A missed 3 by Jace Carter, and off the leg of Levac out of bounds. A&M is 3 for 20 from deep.
But even more impressive for Virginia defensively is when A&M has gotten offensive rebounds, the way they've walled up. That was the 14th offensive rebound for Texas A&M. But they only have 14 second chance points. So they're not able to really capitalize on those that they normally do at a high rate.
Beakman was wide open under the basket. Rohde back out there. Some tape adjacent to that right eye where he was cut. Shot clock at 5. Rohde hoisting and hitting a 3. They hit 9 threes tonight after 8 the previous 2 games combined.
And Rohde's been a difference maker in this game for Virginia as Reece Beekman comes up with another block shot. 2 blocks, 3 steals for Reece Beekman. 1 block, 2 steals for Ryan Dunn. These are called stocks. And Andrew Rohde's stock is rising as he knocks down the 3 ball on the offensive end of the floor. And the ACC's reigning Defensive Player of the Year shows the SEC preseason Player of the Year exactly why he was named that a season ago.
I don't know if the ovation was for that or if it was for one of the ushers who is going nuts celebrating the great hustle by Virginia.
I'm going to go with the usher.
Levesque drives, has it poked away by Dunn. Is a 14-point deficit against Virginia with 5 minutes to go. Too much to overcome. They got to get stops first, and then at some point they got to start hitting some shots from the outside. But it would seem like quite the challenge here for A&M on the road. Groves got the offensive rebound but couldn't hit the putback after the Murray miss. 7-0 run by Virginia. It's got to start happening for A&M. Coleman blocked again by Dunn.
If my tally is correct, now that is 3 block shots. Forgive me, 4 blocks for Ryan Dunn to go along with his 2 steals. So he has overtaken the stocks lead once again from Reece Beekman, who has 5 stocks.
Nothing has come easy at all for A&M. That's the closest look that Wade Taylor has had all night at the basket. And it's just his second field goal and his first 2-pointer. Lead is 12, 4 minutes to go. McNeely up top. No good.
Good look for McNeely. A little early in the shot clock probably for Tony Bennett, but when you get a shooter like that.
Number 5, and every block is a punch. I mean, he is spiking the ball on every single rejection.
But when you've got defense behind you like this, you don't worry about a quick shot. Reece Beekman with the block shot. Ryan Dunn with 5 on the evening, and Virginia getting it done defensively.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires.
Yeah, Dallin, originally I was on my way to Georgia Tech. I was actually on my visit here at Virginia when Travis Best committed. It's actually in Bobby Crimmon's book. Bobby wrote about that a long time ago, but Perry Clark knows that story very, very well.
Virginia with a 12-point lead. 3.5 to go. Texas A&M 3 of 20 from 3. Taylor trying to push it inside, and Dunn forces another turnover. He's got 5 blocks, 2 steals. Don't know if that will go down as a steal, but they forced 15 turnovers as a team.
Yeah, you talk about the 5 blocks. Ryan Dunn had 7 steals against Florida. So he's had so many games this year and throughout his career where he continues to provide that energy and the effort, but more minutes for him this season has increased the production in all the other categories.
I think Groves is bleeding again. That's why the officials stopped time. Yep. He's got blood all over his jersey. Don't know if they'll be able to patch that up, though, within the 30-second time frame where you have to make a decision. Well, they're able to do it. Well done.
The best in the business, I'm telling you.
Your guy.
My man Ethan Saliba, the best in the business. If it can be done, he'll do it.
I mean, talk about pressure there. You're trying to close out a game. You got to get him taped up and ready to go.
Ethan has been doing this for 30-plus years.
But I think they've got to figure out he still has blood all over his jersey, so I think they're going to make him exit and get another jersey. Either that or somehow make it look like there isn't blood on the jersey anymore, which they'll try and do. Shot clock at 4. Deep three. McNeely. That might have been the dagger had that gone down. And again, in a normal game, A&M scores almost 80 points per game. This is not an insurmountable deficit, although that certainly will help. In a game against Virginia, it's always harder to come back down 12 with 3 minutes to go. It feels like you're down 20. But now with the clock stopped, you got a chance at 3 free throws. Second time Taylor's been fouled by Beekman shooting a 3.
And you will see that on the Jumbotron, everyone here concerned about the fact that Taylor kicked his legs out. They don't feel that that's part of his natural shooting motion.
And Taylor, the best free throw shooter in the SEC last year, misses the first.
And Taylor goes to the step back. That right leg absolutely comes out. That's not part of his natural shooting motion. You don't sneak anything past this crowd, especially with these huge Jumbotron screens up here, one on each side for everyone to see, 2 underneath.
Groves checks back in. One on a 3. So an opportunity to get points with the clock stopped. And Wade Taylor, who last year shot 88% from the line, a school record, misses 2 big ones here.
That's a classic case of ball don't lie, Dave Pash.
That is it. Night. And probably was not fouled. Here's Dunn. No good on the 3. Rebound Coleman. Still down only 11, but with 2.5 to go, that has to go down. It does for Carter. He was 3 for 19 from 3 coming into the game. So again, they still are within striking distance. Down 8, nearing 2 minutes to go.
And this Virginia team only shooting 66.7% from the free throw line. That could be something that's a factor late in this game if Texas A&M has to play the foul game.
Beakman fouled. It's the 8th team foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Beakman. Only 2 free throws have been attempted by Virginia. Ryan Dunn. And so it'll be Beakman, 69% on the year at the line, shooting 2.
It was Beekman and Dunn that sealed the win against West Virginia, going to the free throw line last time out for Virginia.
The only returning starter from last year's 25-win team.
And Reece Beekman, of course, tested the NBA waters. The best news Tony Bennett received on his birthday, June 1st, was that Reece Beekman was coming back to school. So a great birthday present for Tony Bennett.
And playing through a knee injury tonight. Terrific game on both ends. Another deflection by Beekman. There are no passing lanes. There are no driving lanes at all for Wade Taylor. And meanwhile, Carter is injured. And Buzz Williams not happy with the officials. Thought there should have been a foul on Virginia. None was called.
Buzz Williams trying to get James Breeding's attention. Comes onto the floor to hold his guy up.
They're going to go to the monitor to see if there was anything flagrant. No personal foul was called. But Jace Carter in considerable pain and being helped back to the Texas A&M locker room.
And Buzz Williams, recognizing that, came onto the court to grab his player who he saw in significant pain.
So we're also trying to figure out exactly where and when it happened. So here's Carter there, and see the contact with Rohde, and there's nothing flagrant there. It wasn't even a foul.
Immediately grabs that right shoulder, trying to attack on the offensive rebound. And I like the conversation between James Breeding and Buzz Williams, because Buzz Williams did interrupt play.
Yep.
However, I love the officiating by not tacking anything on to that, because Buzz is caring for one of his guys.
Sure.
You see one of your players in pain, you want to help them as quickly as you possibly can. I like the officiating by James Breeding on that one, not calling any technical fouls, no, none of that.
And if there was something flagrant, the officials, of course, don't want to miss that either.
Right.
90 seconds to go. Virginia ball down 10. The lob to Dunn off the mark, but right to Rohde. Missed the shot. Texas A&M ball. Taylor skip pass over the head of Obasake and out of bounds for the 16th Texas A&M turnover. Our player of the game brought to you by Continental Tire, sophomore Andrew Rohde.
So many different players to choose from for Virginia throughout this game. It could have been Dunn or Beakman, of course, but they did what they normally do. Jacob Grove stepped up off the bench. Forgive me, in the starting lineup today. But in my opinion, it was Andrew Rohde who provided the spark for Virginia, especially to start the second half offensively. You go back and you look at the bank three-pointer, and then his ability to be able to make shots. Didn't shoot it great, but close to doubling his scoring average on the season. The high for him coming into this game had been 7 points. 13 for him tonight, more importantly, being aggressive offensively.
One more free throw for Beakman. The lead is 11. 5 players in double figures, including Rohde. And A&M basically with as many turnovers as field goals in this game. And they did not have Tyrese Radford. They certainly missed him, but Henry Coleman back. Virginia played without Dante Harris. Beakman, as we mentioned, playing through injury. So both teams dealing with some ailments, and Virginia is going to come out on top. It's a great win for Tony Bennett's team. They've held opponents under 70 points now here at home in 46 consecutive games.
One of the best home court advantages in college basketball here in Charlottesville.
And again, when you consider 79 points is the average for Texas A&M, they're one of the top offensive teams in the country. Held to 47 by Virginia tonight. Rebound grows. And Virginia with ACC chants from fans behind us. Knock off number 14, Texas A&M, 59-47.